There is absolutely no denying the fact that corruption does not exist among the cops. But do you know what's worse than being a corrupt cop? Getting caught red-handed for that, of course. In this video, we are going to take a look into the top 3 corruption scandals involving high-ranking police officials that will blow your mind. So, without any further ado, let's get into the stories of embarrassed, corrupt cops that were caught on body cams, a policeman or molester. This unruly police officer of Monroe County, Georgia, did something unimaginable and then got caught red-handed. Bill Miller, who had been in Monroe County since 2014, was promoted to sheriff deputy in July 2018. But his happiness was indeed short-lived as he was exposed, demanding sexual favors from an accused. The event unfolded in July 2018 when Bill Miller arrested Ashley Roberts under the charges of DUI and meth intake. The two later formed a bond, and Miller asked Robert to come and meet him at the park. Well, this was not it. According to Miss Ashley Robert, Miller took his pickup truck to a dirt road, which was exactly when she started to worry. Well, it was a good thing that she turned on the voice recorder of her phone in a concealed manner. So, what's next? The whole career of Bill Miller came crashing down after the audio was leaked to the police department. Miller kept asking Roberts out-of-the-line questions, which Robert kept denying. In brief, he wanted Ashley Roberts' agreement for any sort of sexual favors, so that in return he would raise the DA, a waiver to drop her DUI charges. Soon the news circulated, and the sheriff was immediately suspended from his position. Al Shackelford, Miller's interim officer, expressed his apology on behalf of the whole Monroe County Department. Bill Miller was punished with first-degree sexual assault charges, so he did not actually go to prison, but faced 8 years on probation and a $2,000 fine for bribery, felony, and violating the oath of office. He was also banned from Monroe County and nearby areas until the probation ended. An imposter criminal cop. Just imagine abusing your law enforcement powers to such an extent that you go as far as falsely imprisoning innocent people. This 2018 case concerns Jackson County, Florida's deputy officer, Zachary Wester. The protector of civil rights, Wester, was found guilty of planting drugs in innocent people's belongings and falsely framing them for possessing drugs. Wester had a committed pattern indeed. He would stop the car bypassers in his checkpost and demand for a quick investigation. As soon as the victims left, Wester planted drugs inside their vehicles in a concealed way, only to charge them guilty of possessing those substances. Wester joined the police department back in 2016 and has been conning several innocent souls since. It was not until the case with victim Stephen Van surfaced that Wester found himself in a puddle of mud. On the other hand, in some unfortunate cases, like the arrest of Teresa Odom, Wester's own body cam footage framed him. As you can see in the video, he calls Teresa out of her van for a quick investigation. Later, the ex-policeman's camera caught him red-handedly planting a little pouch of white powder on a spoon inside the car with his own hands. The ex-deputy was suspended immediately until the awaited trials, as he pleaded not guilty. In July 2021, the court sentenced him to 12.5 years imprisonment in the state prison. Out of the 67 prosecuted charges, he was proven guilty of 19, including racketeering, fabricating evidence, false imprisonment, and possession of controlled substances. Shocking, isn't it? Bribery goes wrong. Bribing has never ended for good, and this case is a sheer example. 2 police officers from Detroit were found guilty in a bribing incident, which involved an unnamed towing company. Daniel Vickers, an officer, corresponded with John F. Kennedy, a former lieutenant of that area, in October 2017. The two smartly conspired with an unnamed towing company and agreed to receive a hefty bribe from them. What did the towing company want in return? Well, a fair use of the officers' powers, of course. All they wanted was referrals from the police department, which, with the help of Kennedy and Vickers, was an easy-peasy task. Another official who goes by the name Tower A in the indictment papers hired Vickers and Kennedy for the same. In return, they were promised heaps and heaps of money. As per reports, Vickers made about $3,400, while Kennedy banked $14,950 as a bribe. They even accepted bribes in the form of gifts, cars, and even new carpentry at Vickers' house. Well, the officers knew very well what they were getting into and were busted soon. Oh, by the way, Vicker pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 27 months in prison this year, in February, which is the longest punishment in terms of a corruption charge, while Kennedy still awaits his hearing. Shocking how the civil rights protectors are the ones disrespecting the laws, isn't it? Should our safety guardians be allowed to corrupt their powers?